Hey there pranksters, welcome back and happy 2020. I'm super excited about this year as I plan to do more fun amazing things for you guys, so if you aren't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so now. With your support, I also plan on having more awesome giveaways like the ones we did in 2019. For example, here are some winners that I gave away some cool prizes to. To participate in my giveaways is not hard at all guys, just like and comment on my videos. Of course, you also have to be a subscriber as well. As far as the giveaway for this video, if we get 10,000 likes, I will give away another Nintendo Switch to someone from the comments, just like these two previous winners. To participate, all you have to do is give this video a like and leave a cool comment below telling me what your New Year's resolutions are. For now, let's get started with these hacks. 20 of my favorite ways from 2019 to sneak food and candy into class using school supplies without getting caught. Check it out, pranksters. At my local dollar store, I found this little plastic container which I'm using to store my crayons in. What I like most about this container though is the fact that it's see-through, and that is perfect for us to sneak some chips such as Takis and hot Cheetos extra into class. And just a fair warning guys, this can be time consuming, but it's totally worth it if you guys decide to try this hack out. Basically, we're gonna start trimming off each crayon. Use the container to guide you. We want to be able to cover every single side of this container with crayons, so go through all the crayons and cut off a small piece till you have enough crayons to line them up against the inside walls of the container. Here's how you do that. First, gather all the crayons you'll need and with a piece of clear tape attach them all together. This makes it easier to work with. For example here, I'm gonna cover the front of the container with my stack of crayons. I'll have to do this to all sides till you can no longer see the inside. Use more clear tape to attach the crayons onto the actual container. Now these crayons aren't going anywhere, and look at all that space that we have in the middle now. That's just enough room for us to pour some Takis inside as well as some hot Cheetos extra. When we close it up, all you can pretty much see is a bunch of crayons, so if our teacher saw this, he or she would assume that there's nothing in there but crayons. Now when no one is looking, you can simply open up the container and you'll have a bunch of chips at your disposal. These are enough chips to get you through the long day. Best part of this is that you guys can keep refilling the container as soon as you eat all your chips that are in there. Get creative with the food that you put inside. There's definitely plenty of room in there. PopTarts always make for a great snack during class, especially if you skip breakfast, so why not try to sneak some in? The best way to do that is by getting a small file folder and stashing some inside. What I like about these is that they have multiple compartments inside, so you can sneak a bunch of them in there. You can't even tell that there's anything suspicious in there right now, and neither will your teacher. This container of M&ms minis never lets me down. Let me show you how you guys can use it to pass it off as a school supply. I just removed the M&ms that were inside, and I'm also gonna peel off the label completely because obviously it would give it away as soon as our teachers see it. It just has to look as plain as possible. You'll need a bunch of pens for this. Well, not the actual pens, but the caps. So get as many that will fit inside. The best way to keep them together is with tape, of course. We want them to look like a stack of pens. This came out super perfect. It's quite snug when I put it inside the container. So inside, we're gonna fill it back up with the M&ms minis, but you guys can choose any other type of candy that you guys wanna put in there. The pen caps will cover our tracks, and it'll look as though the M&ms minis container is just a pen holder and it's filled with pens. To help your cause, apply a piece of tape and on it write the word pens. The purpose for this is to make it look less suspicious and more like a school supply. So this next hack you guys can do with any type of lollipop, but for this example I'm gonna go with this one. You're also gonna need a container of washi tape. This one I got at Walmart and there is about 5 rolls in there. I also love the fact that you cannot see inside since it's covered by either the rolls of tape or labels, so that is perfect. Let's open it up and you guys can clearly see that it's hollow in there. If you take the lollipop, it fits in perfectly except that it's too long, but we can easily fix this by trimming down the stick. Once it's short, I'm gonna hot glue it on the cap of the container. Make sure that it's straight and let it dry for a few minutes. Now guys, we can safely say that we have some candy hidden inside this washi tape. Anytime you crave candy while in class, you will be able to pull out your lollipop. Just as fast, you guys can hide it by putting it back in. This pack of gum contains many pieces in there, and they're all flat gum sticks, so if you tend to chew gum in class and want to hide it, simply grab your phone, but it must have a case. Remove the case and line up your gum inside. You'll easily fit between 4 to 6 pieces in there depending on the size of your phone. Simply just put the phone in and that's it. Most teachers don't allow phones or gum in class, so you basically have 2 in 1 here. For this example, here I have a frozen pizza I got at Walmart. The pizza is already in the oven while I prepare this box. We'll have to make 2 cuts on the pizza's box, right on the corners to create a flap so we are able to open it and close it. You might need to use some extra pieces of tape to hold the box together after the cuts. Over the box, we are going to place a canvas which I could easily pass off as an art project. This one of course is blank. Attach the top flap of the box onto the bottom of the canvas, and I recommend that you guys use really strong tape for this. Now that my pizza is fully done and ready to go, I'll put it inside and close the canvas. See, no one will suspect a thing, and you can easily enjoy pizza while in class, and you can even share with your friends. You'll sure be the most popular kid in class that day. When it comes to school supplies, usually the shape and size don't really matter as long as they do their job. So here I have a jumbo pen, which of course you can clearly tell it's pretty huge. So this will be the perfect school supply to help me sneak some candy into class. Let me show you how. First, I'm gonna take it apart. I'll unscrew the tip. This contains the actual ink tube. As far as the top of the pen is just the clicker, which also has a clip on the side. Now, if we take a look at the body of this pen, we can compare it to a tube of M&ms minis. They are the same size, and luckily I was able to find a blue container so it kind of matches the pen color. Basically, we are gonna swap out the body of the pen with the tube of M&ms minis. To be able to do that, we will have to modify the ink tube, remove any components that aren't necessary, and trim it down. We want the pen to still be able to work, it just won't have that clicking function anymore. I'll be using hot glue to attach the tip of the pen to the bottom of the M&ms minis. As far as the clicker, I will trim it down a bit as well, and I will repeat the process by adding hot glue to attach it to the top of the container. Just make sure that you are still able to open the container with ease. Again, like I said, the pen will still function as it normally would, except that now you can open it and help yourself to some M&Ms. If you choose to do this, remember that you can peel off the label, that way it's less suspicious, but I chose to kept it because it looks pretty cool, don't you think? Once you run out of M&Ms, it doesn't mean that the pen has any purpose anymore, because it will. Just fill the inside with any other candy that you want, such as Reese's peanut butter cups or pretty much anything that will fit inside. You'll never be hungry with this method, guys. If you have a couple boxes of crayons available, empty them out as we are gonna put some chips inside. And don't worry though, because these crayons are non-toxic, so you don't have to clean the inside of the boxes. Once you have filled up both crayon boxes with chips, for example here I'm choosing to sneak some hot Cheetos into class, simply cut off the tips from the flaps while both boxes are back to back. Take a piece of tape and attach them together with it. Now if you lay the boxes in any position, you can hide the chips and nothing will be suspicious. But of course, once you get hungry, you know where the chips are and how to get them. Look at what I have right here. It's a zipper binder, and if I open it, inside you guys can see that I have a bunch of school supplies such as paper and pencils. What I like about this particular binder is that it has a side pocket, which of course I will be using to store my bag of hot Cheetos extra. I'm just gonna tuck it in, and while inside with a blade, I will make a slit on the side of the bag. This will make it easier to have access to my chips. All I do now is zip up everything, and when I start to crave my chips, I'll know where they're at. Check it out, guys, I have a Pringles can right here, and well, even though I already ate the chips that were in there, I can still use the can for many things such as storage. For example here, I use this can to hold my binder clips, and that's what I want my teacher to think. So I'm gonna try to modify this can even more. First off, I don't want my teacher to see that this can is a can of Pringles. That would make things more suspicious, so I'm gonna wrap some construction paper around the can. I'm gonna go with purple, but of course you guys can choose any color that you want. Make sure to get the right measurements and just cut the paper to size and wrap it around. A piece of tape should hold everything in place. Now let's trace the outline of the can on another piece of black construction paper. Again, we are gonna cut it out with a pair of scissors. On top of this cutout, we are gonna place some double-sided pieces of tape. Try to get as many in there as we will stick our binder clips on them. Now I can safely add my candy inside the can. And of course, I'm gonna go with M&ms. Let's place the cutout over the candy and that's it. If we close the can, the lid is see-through, and if the teacher saw it, they will automatically see that it's just a bunch of binder clips in there. They won't have anything to worry about, but only you know where the candy is at and you can have easy access to it. This is my blue binder. There's nothing special about it except that it's gonna help me sneak my Lunchables into class, and it's so easy that anybody can do this. Just know that we will be doing permanent modifications to this binder. Let's take the Lunchables and center them on the binder while it's closed. We're gonna make an outline on it. Here I'm using a ruler to mark my lines. Now I can carefully cut out the square in the center with a blade. Again guys, be super careful, but if you do things right, it should look like this. If we put the Lunchables through, it'll be easy to hide them. Velcro will come in handy here. Just place 2 pieces on opposite ends and this will help us cover our Lunchables. You can use a piece of cloth to do that. It should stick to the Velcro. Now my binder looks like it's got a weird design on it, but nothing to be worried about. So when you're in class and you're super hungry, you guys can easily enjoy your Lunchables. For this hack, you are gonna take the largest glue bottle that you can find, as we are gonna attempt to sneak a juice pouch into class. The setup is quite simple. If the bottle of glue is full, then you'll have to empty it out. It's best if you do that on a Ziploc bag, that way the glue does not go to waste. The next thing we're gonna do is rinse out the bottle and cap. With a cutting tool, you can remove the bottom of the bottle. Try to be careful when doing this though. Now we have clear access to the inside of the bottle, and this bottle is the perfect size to house a juice pouch. It'll be a bit snug, but you can definitely get the pouch in there. From the top of the bottle, you can clearly see the opening where the straw normally goes through, so pierce it with the straw. Now again, make sure that you did a good job at rinsing the cap, as we are gonna put the other end of the straw through it. This will allow us to sip straight from the juice pouch. Make sure you twist on the cap tightly, and that's it guys. Just keep the bottle handy on your desk, and when you get thirsty, you can easily take a sip from your juice pouch. Moving on to more Mexican candy. Here we have some Lucas powder, and it's inside a small container, and it's pretty obvious that it's candy. So a good way to sneak this into class is to get yourself a small glue stick. Just like we have done time and time again, we are gonna remove the actual glue to make room for our candy. I strongly recommend though that you clean the container thoroughly to avoid having any sticky candy. Once filled completely, just cover it up with the cap and that's it. If you're in need of some candy while in class, just open up the glue stick. If you have a book that you just don't like and don't mind destroying it, then this next hack is for you. For this example, I will attempt to sneak some Lunchables into class with this book. You'll need some patience though, and you'll see why in a second. But first, begin to trace an outline of the Lunchables on the first page of the book. It should look a little something like this. And here's where the patience comes into play, as you are gonna cut out a bunch of these pages until you have a large enough compartment to put your Lunchables in. I used both some scissors and a blade to remove the pages necessary for this hack. So here's the deal. From 5 out of the 6 sides of the book, it'll look normal except for this side. See, it's got a large enough opening for our Lunchables. So let's peel the Lunchables open and keep it handy inside the book. Close it up and that's it. You guys can easily have access to your Lunchables by pulling them out. It's like a little drawer inside the book. Slide it back in with ease and you will not get caught red-handed. Next up, we are gonna sneak this entire bag of hot Cheetos into class, and just like a previous hack that I showed you in this video with M&ms, we are gonna empty out this bag. Make sure that you get all the chips out, as we are gonna be turning this bag inside out, and this is what it should look like at this point. As you can see, the inside has no logos, no color, it's just a plain aluminum color, which is great for this. I'm gonna apply 2 small binder clips on the end, and you guys will see why in a bit. Let's put the chips back inside the bag. Roll it up and keep it closed with another small binder clip. On the bag, I'm gonna write the word supplies so that my teacher knows that I have school supplies inside the bag and they will not question the bag. The small clips will help keep the chips hidden inside a binder like so. To get to your chips, simply undo the clip and unroll the bag. Simple as that. Here I have some spicy Mexican candy, and yes, it does look a bit odd. That's because this candy is wrapped around a plastic straw and it's covered with chili powder. Anyway guys, to sneak this into class, you will need a highlighter such as this one right here. Results vary with this since not all highlighters are the same. But if you do have one of these, here is what we would do next. Pull out the tip and pry open it from the top. Inside, there should be plenty of room for your candy. With some scissors, we will have to trim down the candy to the size of the highlighter, so it fits in very well. The end of the straw we are gonna have to glue to the cover of the highlighter, and that's it. Let it dry and we are done. During class, you guys can simply act like you're using your highlighter, but when no one is paying attention, pull out your piece of candy from inside the highlighter. Up next, you're gonna need one of these plastic pencil holders that you guys can get at Walmart for about 50 cents. There's two pieces to this, so easily take it apart. We are gonna tamper with the outside cover by making a straight cut on the bottom. In this example, I cut real close to one of its corners. So now, see how flexible it is? You can easily place it back and have faster access to the inside by opening it up from the side. Now let's grab a bunch of crayons and divide them into two sections, the tops and the bottoms. Use clear tape to keep both sections of crayons together, just like you see right here. Once you have both sections ready, simply place them on opposite ends of the pencil holder, and guess what? In between, that's where we're gonna put the snacks that we're gonna be sneaking into class. For example, here I have these yummy pastries that fit perfectly in the middle. Place the cover back and we're done, guys. At first it looks like a regular pencil holder, or in this case a crayon holder. If you slide it open in either direction just a bit, you can clearly see that it's just crayons that are in there. But of course we know that in the middle we have our snacks, and you guys can get creative and put all kinds of snacks in there and you will not get caught. Check it out, guys. Here I have two kinds of supply pouches. These are typically attached to a 3-ring binder. One of these is transparent and the other one isn't. See, if I put a bag of chips inside the transparent one, you can easily spot them. But if we were to do the same to the other pouch, there is no way that anyone could see the chips in there, so I highly recommend that if you get a supply pouch, you get one that is not see-through. You'll be able to enjoy your chips through the whole day at school. What I have right here is a supplies box. These are quite common in school, and most students use these to carry their essential school supplies such as pens, crayons, pencils, highlighters, and erasers. But here I'm going to show you a very smart way to use such school supply box to sneak your favorite snacks into class. Basically, what we're going to create here is a false bottom, and for that we will be using a piece of foam board. Just lay the foam board down and on top place the school supplies box. We need to trace an outline of it, so use a pencil for that. Try to be as precise as possible. See, it looks pretty good. We're also going to draw 2 tabs on the outline, one on each end. Make sure that they are the same size, and you should end up with something that looks like this. With a blade or scissors, cut it out. Again, try to be super precise with this. This foam board is black on one side and white on the other. We will be using the black side. So with a blade, barely make a slit on the tab so that they can fold down. Once you've done that, you can easily insert the false bottom inside the supplies box. So far it looks great, but of course we are not done yet. Remove it once more and start putting your favorite snacks inside. I myself am gonna stash my cookies in there, but you guys can put anything you guys want in there as long as it fits, of course. Let's cover it up again. To have easier access to our snacks, on the center we are gonna cut out an opening, and it's gonna be a large square, but this square must be smaller than a box of crayons as we will be using these in a bit. So first let's make the cutout, and just like that we have access to the inside, and we can easily cover the opening with our crayon box. To keep the box in place, apply a piece of tape on it, but only on one side, so we can open it with ease as if it was a little door. At this point we are almost done, guys. We just need to make this a little bit more real and legit. So add more school supplies inside just so that no one gets suspicious if they happen to see the inside. Close it up and you're done. Keep this handy with you at all times during class, and when you start to get hungry and crave some cookies, simply open up the supplies box and lift up the crayon box, and there you will have your cookies waiting for you. I really love this hack because you can leave the box open and no one will suspect a thing, and only you'll know that underneath all that you have your snacks for when you get hungry in class. Lastly guys, we are gonna sneak more M&Ms into class using a jumbo eraser, but it will take some prepping to pull this off. Start by cutting off both ends of the eraser. About an inch from each end will work just fine. For this to work, it's best if you get a box of M&Ms and not the bag, as you will need to empty out the box because we will be modifying it. So once you have removed the M&Ms, undo the box and turn it inside out. Using the large cutout of the eraser, make an outline on the box and cut it off with some scissors. At this point, it's time to start rebuilding the eraser. Wrap the box around one end of the eraser, make sure it's tightly on. You can reinforce it with some tape. Now you can begin filling the middle with some M&Ms, but make sure to leave enough space so we are able to place the other end of the eraser on. To some, this eraser might look a little weird, but in reality it's pretty common to have a wrapper around the eraser. Just look at these. No one will be able to suspect anything, and when your sweet tooth starts to crave sugar, you know you'll have plenty within the eraser, just pop it open. There you guys have it, my top 20 methods from 2019 to sneak your favorite snacks and candy into class using school supplies. You will not get caught if you try these clever hacks out in class. Now guys, at the start of this video, I mentioned a Nintendo Switch giveaway. To participate, all you have to do is like and comment on this video. I will choose the winner randomly once this video hits 10,000 likes, so let's try to reach that like goal as soon as possible. Well guys, let's try to make this year an amazing one. I look forward to posting more cool content and giving away lots of awesome prizes to my fans. I'll see you guys in my next video.